So I just want to share some insights. Like, this book is already bringing up so much for me, and I fucking love it. I want to not share too much because if you can read it yourself, like, it's amazing. But I'm at a part now where he's speaking about heterosuggestion, which is suggestions from other people and just everything to do with subconscious programming, essentially. And this actually happened the other night. My man was sharing something with his family that we're looking at doing van life, and we want to buy a van and do up a van. That's like what we're aspiring to do, right? Like, we've talked about it. We love the idea of it. It's something that's on our bucket list and something we want to do as a family. And the first thing... You okay? It's okay. It's just a motorbike, baby. You're okay. Whoop. Yeah, and the first thing, which in the moment actually I was like seeing red, but the first response was, you don't have time for that. You don't have time. You don't have time for that. Why would you do that? Why would you do this? Me observing this, I was just like, this is literally what we then, based off what other people say with their own fears, doubts, and what they inflict or project, we then, depending whether or not we accept that consciously, it then tells our subconscious mind that we can or can't action that thing. And no matter what you tell it, you're going to get. No matter what you fucking say to yourself, good or bad, it's coming to you. You're fucking asking for it, whether you like it or not, right? So, and you know, this is where my rebel energy stems from. And people used to say to me, like, you have a problem with authority. No, I just know what's best for me. There's a fucking difference between accepting or entertaining other people's doubts, beliefs, what they fear, and making choices based off yourself, your life, what you believe, and what you fucking choose to do. So I just wanted to read these out because these are many what are known as like auto suggestions or hetero suggestion. I think that's how you say it. Hetero. I'm going to say that. And from the day we are born, this is the shit that we absorb. This is what we're told by other people, and it's straight in there. It's up to us whether we accept it or not, truly. But as little kids, like, we're learning, right? We're absorbing everything. So I'm going to read these. So a few that you've probably heard of in your lifetime, which in turn dictates the way that you currently live your life as an adult. You'll never amount to anything. I remember school teachers telling me that. And that is exactly the reason why my boys won't be going to fucking school, because I'm not going to have some fucking random telling my kids they're not going to amount to anything. Shut the fuck up. You mustn't. You'll fail. You haven't got a chance. You're all wrong. It's no use. It's not what you know, but who you know. The world is going to the dogs. I've never actually heard that, but like, you get the gist. What's the use? Nobody cares. There's no point in trying so hard. You're too old now. Things are getting worse and worse. Life is an endless grind. Love is for the birds. You just can't win. Watch out. You'll catch a terrible disease. Think about the last 3 years. You can't trust a soul. So my next thing that I want to bring is just from my own experience and what I know that I can share in regards to this is that if I had have ever listened to a single soul, and it's not to say that I haven't, obviously, this is where the breath comes in, this is where meditation comes in, this is where working on my subconscious mind has come into play, right? And you know that old saying, like, if you hear something often enough, you'll start to believe it. You will only believe these things that people are projecting or telling you as their own if you choose to accept it. If you choose not to accept it and entertain that, you'll be like, nah. And I'm going to use the last 3 years as a fine fucking example, right? I chose not to accept the fear. I chose that for myself. I chose not to accept the bullshit that was being... The captions won't load. I apologize. I chose not to entertain that, right? And furthermore, I'm now choosing not to continue. I'm just using this as an example, but I'm choosing not to entertain that even further. I hold my beliefs strongly around what's going on or what is currently going on in the world, but I also choose not to put my energy into that. If there are times that I feel the need to speak to something, I will, but it's also, that's discernment for me as well, choosing where my energy goes and where your attention goes, energy flows, right? So yeah, and look, I even said to my man, could you... Is that a crocodile?
Yeah, that's the crocodile we made last night.
So good. I just think of all the times that people have been naysayers in my life or told me that I can't do something, and like I've talked about this before, right? For me personally, that's, you want to get a fire lit in my belly or a fire burning. For me, it's to tell me that I can't do that thing, and then I'll be like, watch me, I'm gonna fucking do it. Not because you said that I can't, but that's just the fire that fuels my soul, right? When someone's like, nah, there's no way you can do that. Okay, well, let's just see, shall we? Watch this fucking space. And if I honestly think back to every single time someone told me something wasn't worth it, or you're not going to do that, and don't get me wrong, sometimes I've learned the hard way, but I've always listened to me. I've always made the choices for me. I've made the choice to pull my kids out of daycare because it wasn't aligned for me, put them into a fucking kindy that is so fucking wholesome and has nothing to do with the fucking system, because that's for me and my kids, right? And so it's people honestly think that they have a say in your life, and you can listen to other people's perspectives, but when it comes to doubt and fear and worry, or people telling you you're not going to have enough time to build a van, it's why? Because you wouldn't have enough time to do it. That's not something that you would want to do. And imagine if I listened. Can you fucking imagine? I just think, honestly, personally, I think, imagine if I had to listen to all those things that other people said about me, or what would or wouldn't work for me, thinking that they know me better than I know me. Where would I be? I often wonder that. How much fear would I live in? How much lack would I live in? How much would I just not be flying? And I'm going to share a post about this afternoon, because something came to me in my meditation last night. It was so fucking powerful surrounding all of this. I just think fuck. If you are listening to anybody other than your fucking self, and like I said, it's important to get insights and wisdom, and that's how we guide and help one another through this existence, right? Through our lives. It's not to say that we can't ask for help or seek a different perspective, but we have to also accept being open to that. We also have to go, yeah, you know what? But not the limiting shit. If someone's going to offer me a perspective when I'm being self-limiting and self-critical and go, hey babe, maybe get off your own back and maybe look at it from this perspective, that's what I'm open to. I'm not open to people projecting their fear, projecting their doubts, and telling me that they don't think that we can do that because they wouldn't do that, or they wouldn't make time for that, or they wouldn't prioritize that. It's people's backhanded comments oh, you've got 2 kids and you just go to the gym, girl, I don't know how you do that. It's easy. I fucking do what is a priority to me, and I action it every single time. It's not that fucking hard. It's literally that simple. If you care about something, you'll fucking do it 10 times over. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you shift, what you do. You just fucking make that shit work. You want something bad enough, you'll do anything to get it. You will. You fucking will. You absolutely will. So I guess my overall message is just listen to you, because I honestly think that's not going to stop me. I could easily have accepted that and been yeah, true, I don't have time, but I know that's bullshit. Because that's on my bucket list. That's something that I choose and wish to experience in this life. My man is the same. We want to do van life with our kids. We want to be able to travel and build a van and do that and fucking live this lush, expansive, fucking fulfilling life, right? So just because somebody in our family has said you don't have time, okay, if that's what you think, but I'm not accepting that. I very much so could. I could accept that, and then we would never do that. And who the fuck wants to live like that? Not me. So one thing I'm super proud of, and one thing I will teach my clients and continue to teach people that work with me, is to not make decisions based off what other people think. Yes, it's ultimately up to you. And if you honestly sit there and you're like, I really want to, I'm just going to use the van life example. I really want to fucking experience van life. I really want to do that before I die. That's something that I want to do in this life. And then someone makes a passing comment to you and says, oh, that'll be too much hard work. You don't have time to do that. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Like you literally believe that. You've just given your power away to that person to dictate what the fuck you do in your life, in your existence. Why? Don't do that. Yes, it's going to take practice. And yes, I'm like being so lack. But that is something I have mastered. Don't tell me I can't fucking do something. If you don't want to do it, that's on you. That's not me. That's not my shit. And I refuse to carry it. I refuse to entertain it. I refuse to fucking accept it. Full stop. So yeah, my closing thing would just be, of course, listen to yourself above all. Yes, seek guidance if you need it, but it's like when you'll start to notice when something is limiting and you'll start to go, that's not mine. That's not fucking true. Like, especially if you're an ambitious individual. And that's not to say that you're going to make some wrong moves or some wrong turns, or it's not even wrong though. Like, it's all lessons. Do you know what I mean? So you'll have challenging moments, harder times, but it's not to say, oh, that person told me so. It's like, no. You had to learn, and you had to learn your way. You had to go your way. And that's because that's the only fucking way. It's not that person's way or like following that person's way of life. Like, it's all so individualistic. So yeah, I'm fucking inspired. It's just bringing up so much for me. It's fucking incredible. So yeah. And actually, let me just also finish with this particular point. Your subconscious mind cannot decipher true from untrue. That's your conscious analytical mind that does that. Your subconscious mind is not capable of that. So anything you say to it will in fact accept it as truth, even if it's untrue. Okay? So let me say that again. Anything that you tell yourself goes directly into your subconscious mind, good or bad, and it accepts it as truth. And from what it accepts as truth, it actions that. So, again, that saying, be careful what you wish for. That is why. Because the fucking power that your subconscious mind holds, my honeys, it is literally a superpower. And when you can master the law of your own fucking mind, your life is going to be fucking grand. I could fucking literally talk about this all day. The next thing is the mind is the cause, the condition is the effect. So as much as we want to blame external circumstances, situations, people, as much as we want to point the finger, this is where it always comes back to us. It always starts with us. Because it starts in the fucking mind. It starts in the mind and what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to not accept. So therefore, literally everything that you experience in your fucking external reality is you're doing that. That's on you. And we may experience things that, in our life that we're actually dead set meant to experience, and there's reasons why, because they're all lessons in fucking everything, right? But that is important to know. Everything you're currently experiencing in your external reality is literally what's internal within you, and you're creating that.